In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to calculate your leverage. 1. How to calculate your position size. 2. How to calculate your trading fee, your future trading fee. 3. And number 4, how to calculate your funding rate on futures. And lastly, how to calculate your liquidation price / stop loss. So I'm going to be showing you how to do all of this. Number 1 is how to calculate your leverage. A lot of you still want to know how to calculate leverage. That is pretty very straightforward. So follow up and do also like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, so that you wouldn't miss our subsequent educative videos like this. So how to calculate your leverage is pretty very straightforward. If I should click on this leverage icon, you get to realize that you can use up to, I think in this case, 75x leverage. You know, your capital and your type of currency used in trading determine your maximum leverage. But for an instant, let us put it at 10x leverage, so we can use it to demonstrate all of this. So 10x leverage, if you want to know how much your leverage is, like how much you are going to be using to either go long or go short, that's the demonstration of this. That's the overall idea of the leverage, because leverage allows you to borrow money. If you have a smaller capital, you can borrow money with the help of leverage to either go long or go short, so that when the market probably goes in your favor, you'll be making way more compared to if you had only used your small capital to trade. So knowing how much your leverage is will help you out to know how much you are using to either go long or go short. So for an instance, if I'm going to be using this currency called hashtag to demonstrate how the leverage is being calculated, it is going to be capital multiplied by leverage. That's going to give you the overall picture of the money. So now I have about 16.37 multiplied by 10, which is going to give you approximately $163. So now this amount is in USDT. If you want to know the value of it in ASTA, because ASTA is the currency here, that's the asset itself. If you want to know how much ASTA you will be using to either short it or long it, is to convert that amount to ASTA. That's simply by doing something called division. So the ASTA price currently is at 0.5394. So that's going to be is equal to, then you divide it by 0.5394, which is going to give you about 303 ASTA. So 303 ASTA is equivalent to about $163. Let us go over to the normal trading market. Let us confirm that amount is correct. So with the price of 53.9, 303.48, 303 is going to give us, look at, so that amount is correct. So that ASTA now, with your initial $16, you can buy as much as 303 ASTA with the help of leverage, or equivalent to $163. So I've answered how to calculate leverage, and the position size has automatically answered itself, as you can see there. So now, how to calculate your future trading fee. Future trading fee is being calculated. Let us find out how much Binance will take for future trading fee. Future trading fee. Look at it there. So now you get to realize that in overall, Binance deducts about 0.02 for maker, that's limit order, and 0.04 for taker, or 0.05, between 0.04 to 0.05 for taker, which is the market order type. For regular users, because basically we are all classified under regular users. If you want to be among the VIP, you might have had a whole lot of trading volume within the last 30 days, up to like some certain amount of BNB. But basically we are all classified, like majority of us are all classified under the regular users. That's the more reason I'm going to be using the 0.02 for maker and 0.05 for taker to calculate this fee. So keep in mind, we have now determined our position size, because matter of fact we are using position size to calculate the trading fee. That's how it's done. So the position size was either $163 or 303 asta in this case. So 0.02 or 0.05, either ways you intend to go on a short or on a long using either market order or limit order. The fee is there. So let's say for an instance we use market order to enter this trade on a long, okay, which I'm going to be showing you the practical aspect of it in a second. So 0.5% times what? The $163 worth of our portfolio. So you get to realize that 0.5% of 163 is 81 cents. We are paying 81 cents for this opening order. Either we go long or we go short using market order. So if your order successfully gotten executed right now on market order, on either a short trade or a long trade, 81 cents will be deducted from your initial collateral of 16 point something. In my case, 16 point something. The money is deducted from your capital, not the leverage money. All the deduction from funding rates and trading fee are deducted from your initial collateral, but the calculation is taking place from the total amount that your portfolio is worth at that current movement of the market. So this amount can be, can be more or can be less depending on the condition of the market. If you are making way more money and your portfolio size increases to probably like $1,000, if you are making way more money and provincially your portfolio can handle up to 1,000, but you started about 163. But as time goes on, maybe you're probably in profit, the portfolio size increases to $1,000 and you're about to close the trade using market order. You're going to be paying 0.5% of that 1,000 at that current market price, at that current portfolio price, okay? And the deduction is taking place from your real collateral. Keep in mind, your real initial collateral, but the calculation is taking place from your portfolio size. So here is a demonstrative part of all of this grammar we've been saying during the course of this video. So right now, as you can see, our portfolio is currently worth approximately $163. So if eventually now I want to close out on this position, you get to realize that I'm going to be paying about 0.5%, depending on the type of order I use. Either closing it out manually like this, I'll be paying the 0.5%, which is automatically the initial market price. But if I set it to a particular range I intend to close at, that should be a limit range, which I'm going to be paying 0.2%. So that's to show you that the fee differ depending on how you handle your order type. And keep in mind, the calculation is taking place from this initial portfolio size, and this size do increase. If eventually now I'm losing and it's gone down up to $100, I'll be paying 0.5 of that 100, not 163 again, not 0.5 of 163 again. So that to show you that portfolio size affects how the fees are being deducted. But any order at all that got trigger, either you take profits or you stop loss or you trail out profits, or basically you do anything that executes an order, either a partial order or a full order, any order or that got trigger, either using market price or limit price at any certain time. The calculation is taking place from your initial crypto size, your portfolio size, but the deduction is taking place from your initial margin, that's your collateral. That is how all of this is done. And let's go over to the funding rate. Let me show you how the funding rate is being calculated, because now our funding rate is kind of similar to trading fee, but the only difference is that the funding rates are being paid to traders. This is how the funding rates are being paid to traders. Keep in mind, we have two different type of funding rates. We have the positive funding rate and we have the negative funding rate. The positive funding rate, usually it is happening in a bullish market. It do happen in a bullish market, and the market is only in a positive funding rate if the future price is higher than the spot price. And the market is also in a very negative funding rate, usually in a bearish market, if the market is going down, happens when the future price is lower than the spot price. So if the future price is lower than the spot price, the short traders will pay the long traders. As simple as that. And if the future price is higher than the spot price, the long traders are going to pay the short traders. As simple as that, in some certain interval, usually 3 different interval of the market in a day. So on each time interval, 0.1 will be paid, another interval comes, 0.1 will be paid, another interval comes, in that day 0.1 will be paid. So 3 different interval of the day, 0.1 will be deducted on each intervals, and it's usually 0.1%, like I've told you. So depending on how your portfolio size is at that current market condition, if your portfolio size probably increases to $200, you're paying $200. That's 0.1% of that $200 will be deducted to the funding rate. So you can also get paid or you can pay out depending on how the funding rate is at that current interval of the day. So that's how it is done. That's how you can pay the traders, or traders pay you, depending on what is happening in the condition of the funding rate, either in a positive funding rate or in a negative funding rate. And lastly, let me show you how to calculate your liquidation price. Liquidation price is simple. Now that you have determined your portfolio size, you can determine how much your liquidation price is with the help of percentage. Let me use a calculator to show you how liquidation price looks like. You can also make it manually yourself, although it is shown to you that your liquidation price is there, written clearly and boldly, but you can use your calculator to also determine it with the help of your portfolio size. Remember, our portfolio size is about 163. So if eventually our trade goes minus 3% times the 163, we are losing 4.89. So this will also help you to calculate all of this. If eventually the trade goes to 10% times the 163, we are losing 16. Even if the market doesn't even go to 10% or just 9% times 163, we are losing about 14. So you can use that portfolio size to determine how much you are going to be losing if the market probably goes against you. You can also use it to calculate if the market probably goes in your favor, about, let's say the market increases to about 5% from your entry point to now. 5% times 163, you're going to be getting 8. But anyways, your liquidation price will be given to you. Binance will automatically set your liquidation price, and they are going to like show you a range, and this range is about 0.4897. So this liquidation price is only applicable, and it will only be implemented if you do not put a stop loss. But if you have your stop loss in place, your liquidation price is going to be useless, because definitely your liquidation price cannot be used as your stop loss. Definitely, if I try putting in that liquidation price at 0.4897, 0.4897, you get to realize that they will not allow me to place the order. Look at, the trigger price should be higher than the liquidation price. So we should try increasing our liquidation price to like 0.4905. That should probably allow us to place the order. Binance do this so that you will not wipe off all the initial 16. Okay, and there are some fees you'll be paying as well, so they cannot allow you to wipe off all the money immediately. So that's why liquidation price is only applicable if you do not put a stop loss. You just allow everything to be there and you close it manually yourself. That is only when liquidation price eventually will be applicable, if the trade probably goes against you. So now that all of this is being done, let me know if you have any question, and I will catch you all later.